dinner rush was in full swing. The restaurant was packed. Orders were flying in. And suddenly, the kitchen screens lit up with words that were never meant to exist in a fast food system. Customers were holding receipts. Employees were crying with laughter. And my two bosses. They were about to realize that stealing my weekend was the worst mistake of their lives. If you've ever been screwed over by a boss, if you've ever swallowed your anger because you felt powerless, if you've ever fantasized about the perfect revenge, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because this is one of the most satisfying workplace revenge stories you'll ever hear. The breaking point summer. Mid-80s 1985 or maybe 1986. I was 23 years old, exhausted in a way that sinks into your bones, the kind of tired you don't sleep off. I was an assistant manager at a Jack in the Box, working 12-hour shifts, running on stale coffee, grease, soaked uniforms, and pure resentment. This job had already taken 2 years of my life. It had taken my weekends. It had taken my energy, and slowly it was taking my dignity, and the reason. 2 people. Let's call them Sue and Mike. They were the other assistant managers. Also, unfortunately, sleeping together, loudly, proudly, constantly, and no, nobody asked to know that. They were narcissistic, lazy, and deeply allergic to responsibility. Every bad shift somehow became my problem. Every inconvenient task landed on my shoulders. And then came the concert. The ultimate disrespect. AC/DC was playing at the Cow Palace. This wasn't just a concert. It was the concert. Months of anticipation. Tickets bought in advance. Plans locked in with my closest friends. And Sue and Mike knew it. They knew exactly how much this meant to me. Which made what they did next feel deliberate. They went behind my back, talked to the manager, and booked themselves a cozy Tahoe getaway, Saturday and Sunday night, leaving me to work their shifts. No discussion, no asking, no decency, just entitlement. When I found out, my stomach dropped. That hot metallic rage spread through my chest. My jaw locked, my hands shook, not from fear, but from the realization that they didn't respect me at all. And that's when something clicked. I didn't just feel angry. I felt done. The decision? I looked around at my crew. 17 to 19-year-old kids who worked hard, showed up on time, and hated Sue and Mike just as much as I did. And I thought, why am I protecting people who wouldn't lift a finger for me? I wasn't missing that concert. Not this time. Friday night was going to be my last shift. And if I was leaving legendary. Setting the trap. After closing that Friday night, the restaurant was quiet. Just the hum of machines. The smell of grease lingering in the air. And the computers. Back then, the registers worked on menu keys. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Each time slot had specific buttons that controlled what appeared on kitchen screens and what printed on receipts. And here's the important part. The dinner keys wouldn't be used until 5 p.m. Saturday. Which meant time. I reprogrammed them carefully, deliberately. Every dinner item was replaced with something memorable. Insults. Personal. Specific. The kind you don't recover from. When I finished, I clocked out, took one last look around, and walked away smiling. The calm before the storm. Saturday morning, 6 a.m., Sue and Mike walked in, giddy, smug, already halfway to Tahoe in their minds. All day long they bragged. The cabin, the wine, the lake. Not a single dinner key was touched. Perfect. And then 6 p.m. hit. The dinner rush began. Hi, can I take your order? 2 jumbo jack combos. Large fries. The cashier rang it up, and the fryer station froze. Then laughter exploded, because the screen didn't say freeze. It said 1 order of Sue's ass smells. The grill station lit up next. 2 orders of Mike Mount's barnyard animals. More orders poured in, screens filled with chaos. Receipts printed the same words. Customers stared. Teen employees screamed things like, INETWO more Mickey's T and BLs. Duos McKeon CES. Sue and Mike stood at the registers, pale and sweating, handing receipts to customers that exposed them over and over again. The restaurant was packed. The crew was hysterical. And then, I called, Hey Sue, I don't think I'm coming in tonight. Silence. Then screaming, THEF, DDOUDO. I smiled. I quit. I'm not missing AC/DC. Click. They couldn't fix it. For hours. They had to call the Californial manager to come in and undo the damage. He didn't arrive until midnight. They lost their vacation. They worked 7 straight days. Mike was fired. Sue disappeared months later. And me. I went to the concert. It was incredible. And I went on to become a software engineer. Funny how revenge clarifies your purpose. If this story made you grin even a little, hit that like button. Drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable revenge stories, because sometimes you don't get mad, you get even.